So Diana Rossini tweeted today at one point, Matthew Judon was absent from yesterday's practice because he seeks a revised contract. Since then, the Patriots have made an offer per source. This could help move things in the right direction. Okay, encouraging. Then sometime later, Matthew Judon, or someone purporting to be Matthew Judon. Because as we just heard, Matthew Judon doesn't run his own Twitter. But whoever that administrator is says, at Diana or at whoever, whatever, at blah, blah, blah. No, they haven't. But it makes me look bad again. Don't believe the lies. Oh, okay. So now Judon and Judon's camp is implying that the Pats are feeding Rossini lies to make Judon look bad. Rossini then subsequently revised her original report saying, what exactly, Murray?
I don't have it up yet.
Okay, something along the lines of Judon was offered a few revised contracts from New England before training camp. They have yet to agree on a reworked deal. So he was just offered a few revised things before training camp. So she sort of walked back to what she reported, but it doesn't feel like this is getting any better, Greg.
No, it doesn't. And a lot of this stuff happened when I was in the car on the way in here, so I'm reacting to it as well.
By the way, the Pats have just handed out another contract as well, giving Devin Godchow 2 years, 16 guaranteed, up to 21 in total value. The day after, essentially, Drew Rosenhaus is sauntering around the practice field while Matthew Judon is storming around the practice field regarding his deal. Okay, sorry, that's the latest development. Greg, what's going on here?
So it sounds like, just from Schefter's report on the deal for Godchow, it sounds like it's basically this year and next year with a third tacked on for cap purposes.
Yep.
That basically 16.5 is guaranteed over the 2 years, probably a bulk of it this year. I think that's the ballpark that he was looking for, and you sense this was coming with Rosenhaus in town the other day while the whole Judon drama was going down, and you think that Judon reacted to all that because these guys know what's going on in the locker room with contracts, and I think Judon's outward approach to Mayo, Wolf, Groh, I think that came from him feeling that Godchow was getting close on a contract and Judon didn't have anything. And I think he reacted to that. Now, the thing today with Rossini and Judon, it's pretty, I wouldn't say obvious, but it feels like Diana checked in with somebody with the Patriots, and they said, we've made him an offer, and we haven't come to an agreement. And that's not to make him look bad. That's to make them look better, or at least, look, we're trying here. And that he's reacting so harshly to that and with such disrespect, yeah, it's not good. And I don't know how it gets... Look, you can always solve everything with money. Are the Patriots going to do that? Is Elliott Wolf, what kind of precedent is he going to set? Is he going to draw the line at Judon after not drawing out at Godchow? I will say this. Elliott comes from a Packer way where they're not afraid to take a stance on a contract and be very stubborn about it. Whether it was his dad, Ted Thompson, Brian Gutekunst, they all come from the Ron Wolf family. And if Elliott is not going to be pushed around if he doesn't want to be. And so I've seen them be very tough on contracts, whether it was, B.J. Raji or Clay Matthews or any of these guys. They'll draw a line. So this is going to be quite a dance between the two sides.
Is Judon well respected in the league by his peers? Do you know?
I don't know, but I will say I don't know anything.
Because the only reason I ask is because at this point, the Patriots have basically paid everybody. And so they're not going to pay the one guy that is actually kind of one of their stars that can help them now that they need some more help on the defensive line because of the heart issue with Barmore. And so I would think if he's well respected in the league and he now goes out there and is like, you don't want to play for this new regime. F them. And you're going to be a free agent. They're just going to bone you eventually, so you don't want to be there. So I bring it up because at this point, if you're going to pay everybody else, well, then why not just pay him?
Well, I think this is where the sort of the two sides are so far apart on Judon is that, look, he's 32, going to be 33. This is his last chance to make money, really. I mean, even if he comes in and he balls out this year, at 33, he's not going to get a big 3-4 year deal. So Judon looks at it, and he is represented by Clutch Sports. And even though it sounds like he doesn't really use them all that much, but he knows he's taking a stand because this is really his last bite of the apple. Now, is it great timing because he's coming off an injury and only played 4 games last year? No, but this is where he's at, and so he's trying to get as much as possible, and the Patriots are trying to protect themselves.
Do the Patriots deserve criticism for how this has all played out?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I just think that...
Couldn't you see this one coming a million miles away?
Yes. It was the same thing. Yes, but look,
as soon as they pushed that money forward last year,
yes,
and now you're going into this year, you know he's not going to play for that money.
Right. It's just like Stephon Gilmore.
Right. Not going to play for it.
Yep.
Which you reported early on, but I mean, like you should have seen this last year.
Yep.
Okay. And then they start re-signing all of his teammates, and now we get to camp. What did they think was going to happen?
Yes, but I think what I think they thought was going to happen was Judon would realize the situation that he's in coming off what happened last year, and he would be open to, say, a bump in base, guarantee his money, and incentives. And I think he doesn't want that. He thinks he's worth more, and he's trying to get more because this is it for him. So I think they took the right approach. I think he's being a little unreasonable, but I'm never gonna question an NFL player trying to get as much money as possible. But he has to be ready to deal with the alternative and the blowback.
Okay, well, then they should have dealt him. You know, to have the thing that played out the other day, Greg. Like, come on.
Well, I don't,
and I include Rosenhaus being out there as part of the bad optics. Like, I know Rosenhaus tours camps and Bill had him in all the time. Like, that's not unusual. But right when his client is holding out and negotiating a new contract. And this guy's storming around the field. I'm talking about Judon. Judon's storming around the field, doing his thing. Rosenhaus is also there talking to Robin Glazier, and it's obvious about his client's contract. It's in front of all the cameras during practices. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, that, I don't. That feels like, do you guys know what you're doing?
One minor correction, because I've heard you say this a couple times. Godchow was not holding in. He hasn't held in. He missed that one day.
Didn't he miss a padded practice?
No. He's been in both padded practices fully. Now, he's not wearing his lower pads, which I don't know what that means.
I'm half in.
I know under Bill that would not fly, but with Mayo, who cares? It's the wild, wild west out there.
Just quickly, so Matthew Judon has responded to this Diana Rossini report.
Oh, here we go.
There's a tweet out there. The Patriots have made Matthew Judon a new contract offer per @DM Rossini. This comes in the wake of Judon's missed practices and heated discussions with Patriots brass. Now, that was since retweeted by someone calling
Wait, hold on. She did another one?
Well, this was from Boston Sports Gordo. I think he's just, someone that aggregates a lot of Boston sports news. So then someone calling themselves Russell Wilson Lover says, yippee, please accept @Mandam, which is the handle for Matthew Judon. Judon responds, no, they haven't, but it makes me look bad again. Don't believe the lies.
Okay. I do believe we covered that, but either way, like right off the top, but either way, Murray.
My bad. My head's spinning once I come in here at like 2.
Stay tuned for 5:55.
Yeah.
That was not just a host isn't listening. That's like a host isn't listening for about 10 minutes.
I didn't know that you touched on the tweet.
For about 10 full minutes, I think.
Yeah, he read it.
He read it off the screen.
Not just read it, but then
You read the Rossini one.
discussed it. I've read it all.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Either
my
way,
bad.
it's okay.
We'll find out at 5:55.
5:55.
Once again,
Tune in for that's gonna be a
transition at 2 blows.
Woo! Wow.
Appreciate the early final word content.
Thought you had something new.
Nope.
Anyway, Bedard.
Yes.
The team deserves some criticism. This one they should have seen coming a million miles away. And to have that scene play out on the field as it was playing out feels like...
Yes, but I blame Mayo for that.
Mickey Mouse.
I blame Mayo for that because I don't think he went into this and he's like, and I've seen it a million times where there's Aaron Rodgers following up Brett Favre saying, I'm not going to be Brett Favre in so many different ways. And now Gerard Mayo is following Bill Belichick and saying, I'm not going to be Bill Belichick in so many ways. And it's fine that you're going to do this and you think the players are going to respond because you're opening things and it's a new, détente era in New England. Okay, fine. But did you sit and think about, okay, if I do X, what if it goes poorly? Or did you just think it's going to be hunky-dory, everybody's going to love it, I'm not going to have any issues? Did you think about the downside of the decisions that you're making, including, did you get with, say, Godchow and Judon before camp and say, look, I'm going to let you guys say what you need to say. I don't have a problem with that. Go ahead. But this is what I expect in return. You to not disrespect me. Don't go out there and disrespect the Patriots.
Is it possible?
Don't act like an a-hole.
Is it possible he did it? Is it possible he did that and Judon still went out and did that crap?
It's possible, but that's such a bad look for Jerod Mayo that already 4 or 5 days into camp, a veteran is openly disrespecting you.
But it's a contract thing and he doesn't do contracts.
Yes, but he's responsible for what goes on the football field. That he allowed that. At least Bill, look what Bill did a year ago with Judon. He just said, okay, fine. You want to do this? Fine. Go do conditioning. Don't make a spectacle of yourself, and we'll deal with this at some point in time. And obviously that didn't go on, or Matthew Judon just openly disrespected Jerod Mayo, which is worse.
I mean, look, I'll put Mayo on the list. Fine. Okay, He's finding his way in terms of changing things under Belichick, but still controlling the whole operation. He's not there, obviously. Fine. He doesn't do contracts. And this was an easy one. Like, this was the most predictable contract squabble in the history of contract squabbles. You knew last year what was going to happen, and you let this play out all the way into this year. The front office did. So they're on the list. I'm sorry. You've got to realize.
I'm not saying they're not on the list, but, I mean, what if they made contract offers along with the lines that I'm saying, like 10 to 12 million guaranteed upside with incentives, and Judon's like, no, I want 3 more years and $30 million guaranteed up front.
Okay, then they can't have what played out the other day play out. So trade him.
Yeah, but what's the coach's responsibility in that?
The trades? He doesn't control the roster.
No. On what went on the field, that's his purview. The field is his purview. He allowed that to happen. It's on him.
Well, he's opened the door. Certainly there's a slippery slope there. I don't deny it. But at some point, the front office has got to realize it's not happening with this player and that he's not going to take your contract offer. And if you're not willing to offer more, then were you going to set up this entire thing? I mean, I think they set up the thing to happen. And maybe the new conditions here, the new world under Jerod Mayo allowed it to happen. But I think it started with how they handled the contract. I mean, this was an easy one to see coming. What did they think was going to happen? And so they should have gotten to it early. They should have gotten the lay of the land early, understood where he was early, and don't put Mayo in that spot. So I mean, listen, I'm not a big believer in Jerod Mayo, believe me, and I hate the transition to the player's coach kind of thing in almost any sport. It makes me very uneasy. I don't think it works, generally speaking. So I'm with you on all that stuff. But I don't think the front office helped him out here at all on this one. This one was easy. And so now here they are. It continues with the back and forth. What are they going to do? Quickly, what should they do? What should they do now?
Well, I think with the Barmore situation and where the defense is, I think they need to make a final offer to Judon. Say, this is what we're comfortable doing. This is as far as we're going to go. Either you take it or we'll trade you. And there's you have no expectation, or you don't know you're going to get a long-term deal, what have you, but we're going to deal you. And that's what I would do.
Okay, we got 4 hours of the big boy today. Can you handle it? It'll be a lot of Patriots, obviously, and the first 2 hours will sort of follow the usual script of our Big Boy Tuesdays with 3 up, 3 down, 10 questions, that whole thing. After 4 o'clock, we'll mix it up a little, but here's your chance to talk to Greg about the Judon situation and anything related to the team this offseason and through the first week. I still think, even with this Judon stuff, the lead story today and the lead story with the team is how Drake May has looked. That, to me, is the lead story.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.